Hello, Upkeepers. My name is Henry Prey, and I'm the Director of Product here at UpKeep. Today, we're going to be covering UpKeep Analytics and how to create custom reports and dashboards with just a few clicks. So let's say we've been viewing reports in UpKeep Analytics for a while now that maybe others have created or are out of the box. But now we have some additional questions that have not been answered. In this video, we'll talk about exploring UpKeep Analytics and using data from your UpKeep account to find those answers. So let's jump in. There are quite a few ways to start exploring data inside of UpKeep Analytics, but the one we're going to be covering first is the way straight from this drop-down menu of exploring. So we're going to go ahead and click into this View drop-down menu and go ahead and click on Explore Work Orders. When you first look at an Explore, it might seem a little daunting, like there are a lot of different options, but in reality, it's really no different than filtering or sorting work orders inside of the main UpKeep application. The first items you're going to want to look at are dimensions. Dimensions are used to group work orders. So for instance, maybe we want to group a work order by its status. We're just going to go ahead and type in status. We're going to see it's under a dimension, current status, and click run. What this shows us is the different statuses and the different groupings of the work order that we have via the dimension. You can add multiple dimensions into the same query. So now we're going to look at date created. And we're going to actually look at the various quarters that work orders were created and their different statuses. So now you're going to be able to see a list of various quarters, Q3 all the way down to 2019, and the statuses that go with them. So what do you do with this? Well, you want to start doing calculations on this data. And the way that calculations work is what we call measures. Measures are here in a reddish orange color. And what measures do is they allow you to do, as I mentioned, calculations on the dimensions. So for instance, maybe we just want to see a count of all the work orders that fall into these various different dimensions. What this is showing is various counts of the work orders from each status by quarter, by date created quarter. So anytime you want to group something, you're going to use a dimension. And anytime you want to measure what you're grouping, you're going to use a calculation. And there are so many dimensions and measures to choose from to really create and answer the data questions that you have. Once you master this idea of grouping and how it relates to dimensions and measures, you're on track to creating your own reports and dashboards. Now that we've gone through exploring straight from an empty slate, I want to talk briefly about how to explore from an existing dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the work order analysis report. So now that I have the work order analysis report open, maybe you want to explore the data that exists in this report today. So we're actually going to go into one of the existing tiles, click on this three-dot menu and click Explore from here. And what this is doing is it's showcasing the exact tile from the dashboard, but allowing you to make any changes you want depending on your various use cases, what you're interested in, and the filtering that you want to add into it. You're going to see a very similar experience to what we just had, except you're actually exploring straight from this area. But what we're going to talk through now briefly is filtering. I'm going to go ahead and remove all the filters that were pre-populated with this Explorer. So we have all work orders by priority and the number of work orders that fall into each of these priorities. You're going to see high, medium, low, none, with actually the majority of work orders under a high. But maybe we want to filter this by date created to make sure that we're seeing only relevant data for the last year. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the date created dimension. And we're actually going to click on this filter icon here in order to filter the data that we're seeing. And we're going to say we want to see all data over the last year as it corresponds to the various priority and accounts. And you're going to see it updates the numbers to match what this filter is. So now that we understand the basics of running queries and filtering, let's dive into how to create a brand new dashboard. So now that we understand the basics of running queries and filtering, let's dive into how to create a brand new dashboard. To get started, create custom dashboard, and I go ahead and give that dashboard a name, Demo Dashboard 1. Go ahead and add that. And this dashboard starts off with a blank slate. You can see this dashboard is empty. And it's empty without what we call tiles. It has no tiles. Tiles are the visualizations and queries that you're running. And there are two types of tiles for your dashboards. So the tiles, if I go ahead and click Edit, I can hit Add Tile here. You have a visualization tile and a text tile. We're going to start with the visualization tiles, as these tiles are query-based tiles that allow you to visualize various data points from your UpKeep account. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and click Visualization. And then we're going to go back to the Work Order Explorer that we were reviewing earlier. What you're going to see is it's a very similar screen to what we had earlier, the Explorer screen, but now you're actually using the various different statuses and things. So we're going to go ahead and click status again, and we're going to go ahead and click count, click run. So you're going to see a very similar dashboard to what we had before, but now you can actually switch out the various visualizations. You're going to see a bar graph here, but we can change that to a pie graph. We can change it to a table graph. We can change it to all kinds of various different visualizations. Once we have the visualization that we want, we can go ahead and click save. And this is going to be added in straight into this custom dashboard. This visualization will appear in the new dashboard as the first tile on that dashboard. To add more tiles, you just click on this nice add tile button. And you can also add filters straight to this dashboard. So maybe you want to filter by the work order, create a date again. You can go ahead and filter that date. And we can just say it's in the last 7 days. I'm going to go ahead and save it. Once you have created your first dashboard, that's going to save just to your account. So it's going to be a private dashboard. But what you can do is actually share this across anybody at your site. So all the admins and view-only users can also see this dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and do that there. And this is going to save for anyone at the site. And that really wraps up the intro to creating your own dashboards for UpKeep Analytics. Thank you for the time.